the headlines of this hour on VTV News. U.S. Treasury clears Vietnam of currency manipulation. And coffee exporters adapt to the EU deforestation regulations. In our world news, Russia to halt glass deliveries to Austria.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning in to VTV News. I'm Huyền Trần with the top stories. The Commission for Information and Education and Vietnam Television on Friday night co-organized the program Ho Chi Minh Journey of Aspiration 2024. Now, during the event, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm and Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, Politburo member and head of the Commission for Information and Education, presented certificates and emblems to honor 25 exemplary individuals nationwide for their dedication to studying and emulating President Ho Chi Minh's ideology, ethics, and lifestyle. The party leader encouraged them to continue inspiring and mobilizing others to follow this example. He emphasized the importance of integrating this practice into daily cultural and moral habits among officials, party members, and citizens. The Commission for Information and Education also launched a new database dedicated to studying and following Ho Chi Minh's teachings. State President Lương Cường delivered a speech at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC Leaders Informal Dialogue with guests in Lima on November 15th local time. This dialogue, part of the APEC Leaders Week, provided a platform for APEC leaders to exchange information and strengthen cooperation with partners both within and beyond the region. The event drew leaders and heads of delegations from 21 APEC member economies, along with representatives from 3 Quest partners, the United Arab Emirates UAE, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization FAO, and the Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean CAF. The Vietnamese leader expressed strong support for inter-regional cooperation and connectivity, emphasizing its dual role as an opportunity and an essential requirement for development. He affirmed Vietnam's readiness to collaborate with other APEC economies and partners to promote effective inter-regional connectivity that benefits all people and businesses. Vietnam's favorable geographical location in Southeast Asia and its modern logistic network position the country as a potential bridge for expanding trade and fostering inter-regional links. The U.S. Department of Treasury has released its semi-annual report on the monetary policies of major trading partners, confirming that Vietnam was not labeled as a currency manipulator during the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Recent foreign exchange market interventions by Vietnam were deemed appropriate to safeguard economic stability amid global uncertainties. The Treasury acknowledged Vietnam's efforts to enhance transparency and foster international financial cooperation. Currency manipulation assessments are based on 3 criteria: a bilateral trade surplus with the U.S., a current account surplus, and prolonged one-sided foreign exchange interventions. Vietnam, along with trading partners such as China, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, China, Singapore, and Germany, remains on the monitoring list for exceeding the 2 first criteria. And the new recognition positively impacts U.S.-Vietnam trade relations, especially as both countries advance economic and investment collaboration following their comprehensive strategic partnership. It is expected to strengthen Vietnam's business environment, attracting more foreign investors. The European Union (EU) is a major market for Vietnamese coffee, accounting for about 38% of Vietnam's total annual coffee exports. 5 EU countries rank among the top 10 importers of Vietnamese coffee. And globally, the EU also leads as the largest coffee importer, holding a 33 to 35% market share. Its coffee consumption is projected to reach nearly $48 billion in 2024 and exceed $58 billion by 2029. Recently, European importers have increased purchases of Vietnamese coffee ahead of anti-deforestation regulations. And as a result, Vietnamese coffee prices became the highest globally during that period. Current domestic coffee prices range between $4.40 and $4.42 per kilogram. The EU's anti-deforestation law, which mandates that key imported agricultural products must not come from deforested land, has been postponed for an additional year. And this delay gives countries more time to prepare for implementation. In Vietnam's Central Highlands, the coffee production and export sector is already taking steps to meet these stringent requirements and focusing particularly on environmentally responsible production.
This is a high-quality coffee farm where the crops are carefully tended, harvested, and undergo strict procedures to meet export standards for the European market. To obtain various certifications, producers and farmers must demonstrate that their products are not linked to deforestation, which can be verified via Google Earth. This criterion is monitored by the Rainforest Alliance. In return, farmers receive advantages for their farms.
First and foremost, we must protect the environment and safeguard our and the community's health. After that, we focus on creating higher value products that elevate standards, serve the community, and ultimately provide us with a better income.
The EU accounts for over 40% of Vietnam's coffee exports. For exporters, the EU's regulation requiring agricultural products to come from non-deforested or non-degraded land presents both a challenge and an opportunity. This push drives the industry to develop more sustainable coffee production strategies.
We are developing an origin tracing system. We collaborate with international organizations and global roasters to implement sustainable development programs. Additionally, we work with local authorities to gather farming data to meet the requirements of the EU deforestation regulation.
Sustainable coffee farming projects adhering to the EU's anti-deforestation regulations are being implemented across the Central Highlands. These efforts aim to foster sustainable development and bolster Vietnam's coffee export position in Europe and the global market.
In the Mekong Delta, the State Bank of Vietnam and various financial institutions have implemented numerous measures to inject capital into production and business activities, following government directives. This initiative is crucial during the year's final 2 months, when local farmers and agricultural enterprises in the region face a significant increase in capital demand.
To prepare for the new rice crop, Thon visited this bank for loans. He was glad he received the loan within the same morning without having to provide any collateral.
I only borrowed $1,500 USD, and I must say the process was very quick. All I needed was my ID, and the loan was dispersed right away.
The minimum loan amount is 750 USD, and the maximum is 4,000 USD per customer. This helps locals maintain their production and business activities.
In addition to the preferential loan packages, financial institutions in the Mekong Delta have also injected between 12 million and 79 million USDs to support production and business activities.
Our branch will offer more loan packages for the last 2 months of the year. Of this, nearly 6 billion USD will be allocated to businesses.
With competitive preferential loan amounts and extremely low interest rates ranging from 1 to 2%, we will reduce and restructure interest payments to stimulate market demand.
The Prime Minister has also directed an increase in the credit package for agriculture and forestry to 2.63 billion USD. This measure, along with other policies, will provide abundant resources to effectively boost production and business activities in the Mekong Delta region.
Profit growth for over 1,000 listed companies on the Vietnamese stock exchange exceeded 19% in the third quarter. Now, unlike previous periods, this growth is driven by the manufacturing and business sector rather than the financial and banking sector. And according to analysts, this shift in growth drivers brings more substantial value to the economy.
Bank stocks experienced their first decline in profit growth since September last year, with profits falling by over 7% year-on-year. A key factor contributing to this downturn is the shrinking loan interest margin.
Banks have not been able to increase lending rates despite higher deposit rates. Additionally, last year's income from securities investments disappeared this year, and profits from services, particularly insurance, have dropped due to the ongoing trust crisis.
Meanwhile, manufacturing companies reported high profit growth, especially in sectors such as retail, livestock processing, and fertilizer production. Export-oriented businesses continued to benefit from Vietnam's trade surplus, which reached over USD 23.3 billion in 10 months.
The increase in import-export turnover compared to Q2 indicates a significant recovery in the manufacturing sector, reflecting the economic recovery and aligning with the 7.4% GDP growth in Q3.
Supportive policies such as tax cuts, lower interest rates, and debt rescheduling are increasingly playing a vital role in the economy, particularly as the final quarter approaches.
I'm optimistic about domestic consumption in Q4. Government policies to stimulate consumption after a delay are beginning to have a positive impact.
Foreign direct investment, FDI, continued to rise by 8.8% in the first 10 months, while increased public investment disbursement is expected to provide crucial support, allowing businesses in the manufacturing sector to gain momentum in the year-end period.
Coming up next on VTV News. Healthcare for premature infants advances in Vietnam. And Hanoi's 2024 Creative Design Festival showcases artistic innovation. Welcome back to VTV News. Ensuring the best health conditions for all premature infants is the theme of the World Prematurity Day 2024 rally, inaugurated in Bắc Ninh Province. Vietnam has made remarkable progress in treating, caring for, and successfully nurturing premature and low birth weight infants. Notably, doctors save a baby born at 24 weeks and weighing only 400 grams. And each year, about 103,500 premature infants are born in Vietnam, with prematurity remaining the leading cause of death among children under 5. The Ministry of Health advises pregnant women to undergo regular checkups to detect risks, abnormalities, and illnesses early. They also recommend ensuring proper nutrition, practicing a skin-to-skin care for newborns, and prioritizing early and exclusive breastfeeding. These measures are crucial for improving outcomes for premature infants. The village elder is the highest ranking and most respected leader in Central Highlands ethnic groups, as the elder represents the community in governing and decision-making. Village elders who become party members also play a crucial role in bridging the gap between the government and ethnic people, paving the way for the effective implementation of the party's policies.
Party member and village elder Điệu Karak sets a good example for other villagers in implementing the party's policies. Despite his old age, he visited each household to convince and instruct people to follow the government's regulations, maintain solidarity, and preserve the local culture and traditions of the ethnic group.
The village elder is enthusiastic and caring. He has instructed villagers to follow the government's policies and encourage them to engage in local economic development.
The village elder advises people to avoid and eliminate social evils to maintain stability within the village.
To earn the trust and respect of villagers, village elder Điều Karak sticks to his principles and practices attentive listening, clear and straightforward communication, and truthfulness in actions.
I listen to the people's opinions attentively to understand their concerns and problems. Then I address their needs to local authorities. I also provide people with advice on how to make money from their livelihoods.
As a party member, the village elder sets a good example through his dedication to all local activities. He has united villagers in their efforts to build a better life.
Village elders and respected community leaders have inspired ethnic people in the Central Highlands to transform their lives. They have fostered strong solidarity within their communities while preserving local culture for future generations.
In one of the most challenging localities of Hoa Binh province, a teacher has quietly spent 19 years ferrying students across the river to school. This labor of love began not as a temporary effort, but as a lifelong commitment to ensuring children in her village do not lose their chance at education. And under this noble mission lies her deeper aspiration of transforming lives and uplifting her community.
Day after day, teacher Nu witnessed the struggles of students navigating difficult routes on their way to school, some even on the verge of dropping out. She began rowing students to school in wooden boats. Over the years, this effort transitioned from manual rowing to operating motorboats. Her dedication never wavered.
No matter the position I hold, I am always this land's daughter. As long as I have the strength to contribute, I will do everything in my power to support these children.
Her determination has inspired more teachers to help with students' transportation. Moreover, the local authorities in Dapak district is constructing a road to connect Nyap village to the commune center, breaking the long-standing reliance on river travel.
This new road, funded through various resources, is expected to ease students' journeys to school, and facilitate socio-economic development in that village.
Nu's selflessness earned her recognition in the national program Ho Chi Minh Journey of Aspiration, honoring individuals who exemplify President Ho Chi Minh's ideology.
We have seen countless quiet yet powerful examples fueling Vietnam's aspirations for growth in a new era. There are so many of them in any given locality.
Through humble boat rides, dozens of children have been able to pursue their dreams of education. And as the new road nears completion, these dreams are set to reach greater heights.
Cha Quế Vegetable Village in Hội An, Quảng Nam has been recognized as one of the best tourism villages in the world for 2024 by the United Nations World Tourism Organization, UNWTO. This year, UNWTO evaluated over 260 nominations from 60 countries and selected 55 villages for their exceptional natural and cultural resources, innovative approaches, and commitment to sustainable tourism, aligned with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. So far, 130 villages worldwide have received this prestigious award. And alongside Cha Quế, two other Vietnamese villages, Thái Hải Village in Thái Nguyên and Tân Hóa Village in Quảng Bình, have also been honored in previous years. Numerous activities are taking place as part of the Hanoi Creative Design Festival 2024, showcasing more than 1,000 creative artworks made by hundreds of designers and experts in creative industries. And for the first time, the festival features Hanoi's famous architectural landmarks, such as the Hanoi Children's Palace, the Tonkin Palace, the National History Museum, and the Hanoi National University, reigniting nostalgia for Indochina art and architecture.
The art installation Aurora at the 19th August Flower Garden depicts the connection between humans and the universe, taking visitors on a journey to explore nature's captivating beauty. All of the artworks were made from various materials, creating a dreamy art space with a vibrant, energetic atmosphere.
The artworks create a feast of color for the eyes, revealing the highest level of creativity.
Inspired by the Vietnamese folk game Dragon and Snake Climbing into the Clouds, the pavilion is made from stainless steel plates, reclaimed from last year's Hanoi Creative Design Festival. There are also many pavilions made from various materials, such as ceramics, porcelain, and 3D printing. These pavilions reflect the core spirit of the festival.
Numerous creative artworks are on display in the museum courtyard, free of charge. Meanwhile, thematic seminars are being held in the museum's hall, engaging young artists, designers, and architects to learn from one another and share their experiences with visitors.
The thematic seminars offer valuable insights into incorporating folk arts and crafts into modern designs.
During the 9-day festival, visitors have the chance to immerse themselves in different forms of art and performances, such as fashion shows, music concerts, and film screenings.
Coming up next in our world news. Russia to halt gas deliveries to Austria. And the world's largest coral discovered in Solomon Islands. Now moving on to our world news, Russian President Vladimir Putin and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz held a phone call on Friday for the first time in nearly 2 years, as the two leaders discussed a peace solution in Ukraine. And according to the German government, Chancellor Olaf Scholz urged President Putin to begin talks with Kiev that would pave the way for just and lasting peace. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said the leaders had a detailed and frank exchange of opinions, although they did not reach a consensus. President Putin noted that any agreement to end the conflict in Ukraine must take Russian security interests into account, acknowledge new territorial realities, and address the root cause of the conflict. Russia told Austria on Friday that it would suspend gas deliveries via Ukraine starting Saturday, signaling the fast approaching end of Moscow's last gas flows to Europe. Russia's oldest gas export route to Europe is scheduled to close at the end of this year. Austria's largest energy company, OMV, stated it had prepared for the year-end cutoff of Russia gas, ensuring that Austria would continue to receive gas imports from Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. While Austria is currently the main recipient of Russian gas via Ukraine, in the near future, Moscow will only supply significant gas volumes to Hungary and Slovakia. In Hungary's case, this will be through a pipeline running mostly through Turkey. Prior to the conflict with Ukraine, Russia supplied 40% of the European Union's gas needs. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol has proposed establishing a forum among Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC members to set standards to promote the integration of artificial intelligence (AI) in manufacturing industries. He made the proposal at an Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting in Peru on Friday. The South Korean president stated that the world has entered an era of major AI transition, affecting corporate competitiveness and national security, while changing the global economic paradigm. As APEC represents a significant portion of global manufacturing, integrating AI with manufacturing is crucial for enhancing regional business competitiveness. And he further proposed forming a working group to develop common standards and certification systems for industrial AI applications. In the depths of the Southwest Pacific Ocean, researchers have discovered the largest coral ever documented. Spanning an impressive 34 meters in width, 32 meters in length, and standing 5.5 meters tall, this colossal organism is even visible from space. It resides near the Three Sisters Island group in the Solomon Islands.
The coral, identified as Pavona clavus, is a single, standalone structure, unlike the sprawling networks that typically form coral reefs. Scientists estimate it's around 300 years old. The megacoral is not just a biological marvel that spans the size of 2 basketball courts, but also a record of centuries of oceanic conditions.
Now, the significance of finding coral like this, goes beyond simply, enjoying the moment and seeing this magnificent organism, this megacoral, because it doesn't just captivate the hearts and minds of people like seeing something magical, but it really shines a light on the significance of coral reefs worldwide, what their critical role is in the ecosystem.
Our community has been doing conservation for the past 15 years. We don't know that there's something incredible under the ocean, but all we have in mind is we want to preserve our marine environment for the future of our children. And I believe this discovery will certainly put Malaulalo Island and the Three Sisters, and of course Solomon Islands, on the map.
The Solomon Islands, known for hosting the second highest coral diversity in the world, stands at the forefront of ocean conservation. The area's reefs are vital ecosystems that support marine biodiversity and act as buffers against coastal storms.
Now, as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. That's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.